Deb here, your spiritual cheerleader and mentor. Today we have a special guest, Monah.
Hi there. How are y'all doing today? Hey, Dad.
Hey, Monah, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Excited about this journey with you.
Oh, thank you so much for being my guest today. Monah is a cosmetologist and she is my hairstylist. And she's been my hairstylist since 2016. So, Monah, tell us a little bit, or tell them, because I know about you, but tell our friends a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am Mona Sapp. I'm from Barbados originally.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in this business for 30 years.
Wow, that long?
Yes, ma'am. I got my license from Norfolk, Virginia, a school called Hicks Beauty Academy.
Mm.
It's been in my DNA to be a licensed cosmetologist since I was 9 years old.
You have been my hairstylist since 2016, and you were God sent. And I'm going to leave that right there. Okay?
Yes.
But friends, I want to tell you one of the things that really impressed me with Monah is her work ethics. I observed Monah for years before 2016, and I used to see her clientele in and out, and she really respects her clients' time. And that's one thing I loved about you, Monah. I will go there, you would give me a time, and when I got there, I was in your chair, not hanging around.
Well, unless talk.
And two, I want you all to know that our professional relationship with a client, and I was your client, but then it developed into friendship.
Yes, yes. And I appreciate you. I appreciate God for sending you to me.
Well, let me tell you, you were God sent to me because I believe when you are like in a salon, that person is in your personal space. And if you are not comfortable with that person,
yes,
doing your hair, it makes it a little bit awkward.
Yes.
So that was a time for us to catch up when I will go and get my hair done.
That's right.
Not too many folks know this, but I have no sense of direction. And your salon was close enough where I could get there in maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No turning or twisting anything, just get into my car and I got there. And then you gave me the news that you were moving.
Yes. Yeah. I panic. You did panic, Debbie.
I panicked. I was like, oh no. Lord, you're not doing this to me. You sent her to me, now you're taking her away. So you gave me the address. Yes. And my husband, what he normally do like when I have to go somewhere, he drives me to the place, and he drove me to your new location before my appointment, just to make sure I would know how to get there. Yes, I have a GPS, but when you have no sense of direction, that doesn't make a difference. So that morning, I was driving to my appointment, and I was speaking to my husband. He said, "Did you put the address in the GPS?" I said, "Oh no, I remember." Yeah, right. Until I realized I was lost.
Yes.
And then I panicked, and I had to stop the car, get myself together.
Usa.
And then I put the address in the GPS, and now I was listening to her. Yeah. And I realized I was just like 5 minutes from where you were. So when I got there, how did I look, Monah? Tell them how I looked.
Debbie, you look lost, still confused, and panicked.
Yes, I was.
I felt so sorry for you.
And I was like 5 or 10 minutes late, which I'm normally early, I'm always like 5-10 minutes early. So I know you mentioned to me that you were a little bit concerned.
Because as you stated, you are always on time. So I was really concerned about you. And I still remember what you said about, your sense of direction. So I was really kind of.
Tell them what you told me.
I said, Debbie, instead of you coming to me, I am going to come to you. I'm going to make it easy on you.
Yeah.
So I would definitely come to your home and surface you there.
And I appreciated that. When you said that, I heard hallelujah. In my head, I'm like, thank God I don't have to go through this trauma again.
Right. It was like a weight was lifted off your shoulders.
Yes. Yeah. I really appreciated those words from you, because getting there and leaving there also was traumatic, because to get home, that was probably maybe December 2019 or so when we had this conversation. So in the early 2020, you started coming to my home to do my hair. And what Monah would do for me, she'd do my relaxer, she'd trim my ends. And we were doing that on a schedule every 8 weeks.
Yes.
And you will also do my conditioner.
Right.
And so the last time that we saw each other was, and here's my calendar, my 2020 calendar, it was March 14, 2020. That was the last time you came to the house to do my hair.
Yes.
And that's been the last time you have done my hair.
Right. And I miss you.
I know, but we have kept in touch, text, phone, stuff like that, but it's not the same thing.
Right. It's not. That was our quality time.
Yes, it was. And and it was right, I think it was a week or two before the shutdown of the pandemic.
It was. Yes. It was weeks prior.
Yes.
Before we were thrown into a horror movie.
Yes. And we're still kind of in it. We got out a little bit, but we still kind of, and I am happy too, because we hugged that day.
Yes. Yes.
Just in case you're like,
yes, ma'am.
So how did this whole thing affect you and your business? Because of the pandemic, my hair started to break and I cut it off, and you see natural.
It's absolutely beautiful though.
Well, thank you.
But it affected my business. We closed down March 23rd of 2020, for about 3 to 4 months. And of course, I'm an entrepreneur, so that it clearly affected, my industry.
Right.
But God is awesome, and He still kept me and my husband afloat.
Good.
Yeah. A lot of my clients, I told them to go ahead and, take the time to go natural now. So, yeah.
So are you building back now?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's really interesting, because now that we are rebuilding, here comes this new variant.
Yeah.
So I hope we don't have to close down again.
I really hope so. Hope so, because it's really affecting a lot of people.
It is.
In your industry, profession, and a lot of professions. And it was a tough time, over a year now.
Yeah. About 18 months or so?
Yes. But thank God.
People's not only their hair, but their mental status. Well,
right.
So yeah, I'm just grateful that God has kept, family and my friends throughout this season. So
and the good thing is that you are a woman of faith, a God believer, a Jesus believer, and God has kept you and your husband through these difficult times. Many people have really held on to their faith, held on to God during this time, and and I can say myself too, God has really taken care of His people.
Yes.
During this time, I know too, a lot of His people have suffered, have died, and lost their jobs also, but God has a way of, even when we're going through bad stuff, to still give us that energy and keep us sane and keep us going to get
Yeah.
us through these difficult times.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is this, what Satan meant for evil,
Yes.
God has turned it around for our good, because some families still got to spend time together,
Yes. Yes.
where,
That's so
you know,
true.
you travel up and down the road, losing time with your family. And, you know, some people got a chance to slow down. Even though it was a lot of bad, it was still a lot of good that came out of it as well.
And you know, you just said something that really hit me, because in my case, it helped me in that respect, because I had long commute, as you know.
Yeah.
I commute sometimes, depending on traffic, depending on if there's an accident, just one way could go for 1 hour to 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having to telework,
Yeah.
afforded opportunity to telework, I got back that time and I
That
could
was,
do God's work. I
yes.
have
Yeah.
more time to do God's work. So that
Yes.
really helped me, and also the up and down the highway, um,
Right.
and it helped also with saving with gas.
Right.
So there are some good things, as you say. What the devil
Right.
meant for bad, God has turned it into good in different ways, and for
Different.
different people too.
And also, Debbie, I forgot to also mention that throughout the shutdown, the
Hmm.
government had allowed us to, stylists, you know, cosmetologists and barbers, to go to people's homes. Um,
Oh.
yeah, because I think his way of thinking about it was probably like one-on-one, you know,
Hmm.
and in the comfort of their homes. So
Right.
I did that every other weekend for that season of
Right.
our show. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't know how come I missed that part. I didn't know that that y'all were allowed to still
Yeah.
do some work.
Just not in the, you know, not in the building.
Hmm.
We're
Hmm.
allowed to actually go into the homes of those that allowed us to come into their homes.
But
So
how did you feel going? Because sometimes it's not only the person allowing you to come in, but you going into somebody's home, not knowing whether they have if they
right,
have the COVID or not. How did
right.
you feel going in?
I didn't feel stressed or anything like that. I felt fine, actually. I mean, I prayed about it, and it was the same people every other week.
Okay.
So I had a group of people on a certain week and a group of people on the other week.
Okay.
So only on Fridays and Saturdays that I would take people. So it wasn't that many people either, you know. So I didn't feel stressed out about it at all.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So many things, so many things. But I'm glad to hear that. I didn't honestly. I missed that one, but that worked out for y'all, because again, that is your livelihood.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this season, some of us were able to also file unemployment, because
Mm.
our industry, you know, like entrepreneurs or gig, you know, people that do gigs and stuff like that,
Right.
they would not have the opportunity to even file for unemployment,
Yes, I know that. Oh.
right? Or UA, you know, because that was, they factor that in as well. So I got the opportunity to file for that at the latter end of it, because when I actually moved,
Right.
I actually took on a second part-time job.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, but I had this little part-time job. I wasn't able to file and get, you know, what my peers were getting at that time.
Right. Right. Oh
Mhm.
wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Well.
Very, very part-time. God is definitely merciful though, because he
Yeah.
really still kept me, you know, kept us paying our bills, you know, and everything like that. So I was grateful.
I missed some of it because there was just so much information out there on what was being offered to people.
Yeah, it was a lot of information. Yeah.
And unless you were in a specific industry or profession, you were paying attention to those things that concern you.
And that's the only way I knew about all of it. To me, in those ways.
Right. Mm. Well, I'm glad that you stayed afloat and that now you're rebuilding.
Yes.
And we have learned from the past 18 months certain things to do and not to do.
Right.
Take care of ourselves, stay safe, and keep others safe too. So, and then the other things I want to share with my friends too is that this lady here is a fashionista.
Oh my gosh.
That is one of the things that I always admired when I would go to the salon. Your hair, your clothes, your accessories, girl, everything on point.
Thank you. I try.
And you and I used to have these conversations. I was telling you, you have a gift. You know how to coordinate stuff, accessorize, and the things that you wear are affordable.
Yes.
And I was encouraging you to start up a blog, sharing, putting out photos. And I know you did start that. I did. Still doing it, or you stopped?
I haven't started back since we could, get out a little bit more now. I haven't started back.
You are a true fashionista.
This is a thing. I believe in our profession, we should come to work looking as such. Even when I worked from my home, I had a setup in my home. And that's just coming down some flights of stairs in my basement, but it was set up like a nice, beautiful salon. But I still had to look presentable because I was going to work.
Right.
So once again, Debbie, that's in my DNA. From 9, I'm gonna go back to 9 years again. From 9 years old, even my ponytails had to look nice, know. I believe I was always a neat looking person. I had to have everything neat and ironed and, Yeah.
It looked like the age of 9 was very key in your life. That's when you really started to become who you are now. You started to develop into the person you are now. You're still that person.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely carry yourself very professional and not only in the way how you deal with your clientele, but the way how you present yourself in every respect to your clientele.
I think customer service is the key. Respect for time, that's the key. I'm all about time. And
I know that.
Yes.
I know that.
The area, the surroundings, it has to be tidy, because you're servicing the public. I mean,
Yes.
So I think those things need to be factored in.
Mm-hmm. And those are very good tips also for young people and people that are thinking of getting into this profession and people that are starting this profession. Those are some key tips about customer service.
Yes.
Be sure your work area is clean and neat, and the way how you present yourself in every respect. That carries over to any profession.
It does.
You want to carry yourself, do the best, and always be your best.
Well, the thing is this. Listen, we work as unto the Lord. That's who we work as unto. We don't work for man, work him. So I don't care if you're cleaning toilets or a doctor.
It doesn't matter the profession, what you're doing.
It does not matter the profession. you have to see it as you're working for God.
Yes.
And that's the key right there. That's the key.
And I agree with that, because I always say I am not perfect, but I do things with excellence, because I'm representing God in
Exactly.
what you do, as you said, whether you're cleaning house, or whether you are doing hair, or whether you are a firefighter, or whatever it is, a doctor. No matter what you're doing, if you have a trade, or it doesn't matter. You want to do it with excellence.
You have to. It's a must.
Well, Monah, again, I thank you for being my special guest. And we are going to be talking more. And folks, Monah and I are going to be talking about hair, and Monah is going to be giving us some hair tips. So stay tuned. And again, go to Greatest Jesus and Me YouTube channel and subscribe now.
Subscribe.
Be blessed, and until next time.
Until next time. Blessings.